The following program is a production of Naleo TV.
Aloha and welcome to my show. This is The Art of Painting with Rockwood and I'm Rockwood. Today we're going to do something a little different than I've done before. We've been doing stuff on canvas and board. I'm going to do something on board today, but what I've done is I've actually taken this Hawaiian fabric and I poured the epoxy over it and then I glued it down to this board here so it's nice and rough. I think we've done something like that before, but I can't remember. But today what we're going to do is we're going to paint bamboo. And we're going to do yellow bamboo. So this will be kind of fun because you've never seen me do this. So we're going to start by taking a little bit of brown and a little bit of orange just to give it a funky color. I've already drawn the bamboo on there and I can't see what I've got on there, so I'm going to play with it here. Start here. This fabric that's on here is really rough because I didn't put a clear coat over it to smooth it all out. So this is like a really cool canvas type of thing here. I'm just going to rough this in really quick. See what I'm doing. I've never done yellow bamboo before. I've got a painting in my house that's green bamboo. We got a spot on our staircase that my wife said, what are we going to put there? I don't know. She said, what about bamboo? I've never painted bamboo before. Usually I do dolphins and turtles and whales, whale tails and stuff like that, but broke out my stuff and started looking at it and said, hey, that looks fun. Now I'm going to start adding in the yellow here because what I want to do is I want to have my light source coming from this side over here. And as usual, I have my iPad sitting right here to my left, so I have a picture of bamboo on there, so I have my reference material, which I suggest you do as well because I don't care if you stare at bamboo all day, every day. It's still a good idea to have a reference to make sure that you're getting it as close as possible, as close, perfect as possible. Once I get this base coat in here, then I'm going to add some more yellow to it and brighten it up a little bit. And I'm going to put some green veining in it. Now, I'm not going to do straight bamboo. I'm going to angle this one a little bit because if you've ever looked at a bamboo stalk, you know they have two different types. They have clumping and they have traveling, which means if you plant it in one spot, within a few years, because it's a grass, it'll be in your neighbor's yard, it'll be across the street, it'll do all kinds of work. Remember my flow? I even wrote on here, flow. So I remember, you remember. We're just going to put a little dab on there. it in here. Now what this is going to do is it's going to actually make this a little more liquidy, so you can see it moving around. Because that surface is so rough, by putting the flow enhancer in there, it liquefies it and makes it spread, fills up those crevices right there really neat. It's actually kind of fun to do. Now that this is starting to dry over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more yellow and brighten that up on this side here. See, if you wait just a couple of minutes, that stuff will dry up real quick and you can put a second coat on easily. I'm not going to go as bright behind on this one because I want it to look like it's behind that. Let's add a little bit more. Sorry, I can tell I'm talking kind of low. I need to stop that. Just add a little bit of black. You see how much how it adds that shadow right there? It totally puts that bamboo right to the background. Just a little bit, and it blends in really nice and separates those two pieces of bamboo. Let's go a little bit darker up here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little shape right there. That looks cool. You see how the shadow is shaped like that, so it's coming like this and rotating over the top? That looks cool. Yeah, wow, that looks really cool. I like that a lot. All right, let's wipe the black out of there. Let's bring one. I'm literally designing this as I go because this is not the sketch that I put on here. But that's the freedom of an artist, you know, you change as you go. If something doesn't strike you, change it, make it better. A friend of mine just bought a new house up in Hawaii, and I went up to see it, and he had these big old clumps of bamboo. And I'm like, that's what I want to do for my next show. I don't know about you, but I love bamboo. Now we're going to do the same thing where I just brought that piece of bamboo behind here. So we're just going to put a little bit of black right there, and then we're going to blend it in. I don't need to put any black over here because the shadow's coming down here. It wouldn't be shadowed on top of that, so. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my outline brush and I'm going to first go with my flow. Then I'm going to grab just a little bit of orange and yellow. What I want to do is I want to create a branch. So let's start over here. Then I'm going to take a touch of white. So we can define it going over the top of that bamboo right there. A little bit of black with the brown, and then I'm going to separate my bamboo. I think they're called knots, but I'm not sure exactly. Then let's put it in this board, there's actually natural wrinkles and crinkles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, every once in a while, use that for those knots. Let's see. I'm visually measuring the distance between them so we don't. And I don't want them to be just black, so I am adding the brown in here to lighten it up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flow and thin the white down just a little bit. So we're going to put a little crease right down the middle of it. See how I'm bracing my hand with this hand? I put this hand on the table and I open my fingers up like that so that I can hold my hand steady when I'm doing that. Because I'm getting old, I can't hold my hand steady perfectly anymore. So I don't know if I ever could. Put my finger on the board. See how nice and fine that line is right there? That looks cool. Oh my God, I like it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this medium green and yeah. See how nice that looks? It gives it character, it gives it shape. Now, not every one of them, or one of these in between the knuckles, has a green stripe. So we're going to skip that one. Get it thin enough, but not too thin, and you can drag that line all the way. All right. I'm going to add a few more here. Wow, that looks really cool. See how cool that looks? Isn't that pretty? Nice technique, nice shapes and everything. And it looks kind of real. And it has that really cool background with that fabric back there. All right, so now let's get some leaves going on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with my dark green, and we're going to just put some background leaves in here like this. This color is almost the same color as the substrate. Which means you probably can't see what I'm doing, because I can barely see. So I'm going to add some lighter green in there. Blend it in a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Let's see, you know, the bamboo does a really cool thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that up here. These leaves actually grow, they kind of look like fingers, but there's a single finger down the end, and then they just fan out. So we'll try and duplicate that. And now These are going to go right over the top of that bamboo right there. Remember, we got the light source coming from over here, so we're going to put the light coming off the leaves that way. Wipe off the excess here, and blend it in. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this really quick in the interest of time. Let's see. Then what I'm going to do, because I've got the two different greens in there, I'm going to go in here and just grab a little bit of yellow to lighten it up even more. I don't need a lot. What this is going to do is this is just going to lift those leaves right off that surface. I've talked about this before, but you notice I don't put a lot of paint on my palette. Well, because this stuff is getting expensive and I don't want to waste it. Wow, that looks really good. Now, I think we should put a couple of leaves over here. Let me take a look at it. I think that looks really cool. What do you think? Now, if you want to try and do this, it's really simple. All I'm using is a little bit of white, black, some medium brown, some orange, some yellow, and then 2 or 3 different greens. So it's really simple. You can get all of that there, which is those simple colors. It's not that big of a deal. Also, the hard part is going to be, if you want to do it something like this on the epoxy, you're going to have to get some epoxy and figure out and learn how to do that. But it's really not hard. But it does give you a really neat substrate to work on. It makes for a completely different type of painting where you're not just painting on canvas. So if you want to try this, give it a shot. It's simple as heck. And like I said, don't forget, use the iPad or the internet or whatever to get that information on there so you know what you're looking at, know what you're doing. All right, so now we're going to put the final touch on this, which is my signature. And remember I said before, if you're going to paint, put your name on it so people know who did it. I've got friends that sign their work with letters and symbols and stuff, and I'm like, well, if you get that thing in a gallery, nobody's going to know who you are. Always put the year that you did it. And that is now a finished painting. Hope you like what I did. So, like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, please, if you like my show, call Naleo, write to him on the internet, whatever it is. Just let them know that you're watching the show and that you like it. If you have any comments or if you want to make suggestions for a future show, please let me know. And if you do these things, take a photo of it. Send it to me. I would love to see it. Cool? Anyway, that's all I have for this show. Hopefully you'll join me for the next show. I don't know what that's going to be just yet, but stay tuned and you'll find out. Aloha, ahui ho.
The preceding program was a production of Naleo TV.